Welcome back. It's been 4 days since Diwali has come and gone, and Delhi's air quality continues to be in the severe to hazardous category. Now, there's been an attempt to blame all of it on Diwali as if it didn't happen before Diwali and as if it's not continuing after Diwali, and as if we have not seen this pattern play out over the last 8 years when we know why the situation happens this season of the year in Delhi. The main reason this time is again stubble burning. This has been something that the Supreme Court itself has talked about and has rapped both Delhi and Punjab governments on. In fact, farm fire cases have been on a rise precisely from Diwali day, from Diwali evening. Over 2,500 cases were registered on Wednesday only in Punjab, only in one state again. Aam Aadmi Party and the Bharatiya Janata Party in Delhi are engaged in a political battle, while the BJP has slammed Kejriwal and Aam Aadmi Party for failing to put a halt on farm fires in Punjab and instead try to shift the blame on Diwali for pollution. The Aam Aadmi Party on the other side has put the onus on Delhi police as far as compliance is concerned on crackers, and in Haryana and in Uttar Pradesh, which are under the BJP's control. But let's take a look at the farm fires pattern. Not only the fact that the farm fires are happening, but actually the pattern of these farm fires in Punjab is very revealing this season. So from the highs of about 3,500 this season, it came down to 6 and 900 and to 609, 639, 6, 927. These are the days right after the first rap from the Supreme Court. The first reprimand to Delhi and Punjab governments and the order to stop farm fires, immediately making local administration also responsible for them. So there was a brief blip which raises the question as to why or how this was possible and how this was not possible before the Supreme Court intervened. And then you look at the pattern from November 12th, which was Diwali day, the farm fires are rising once again and consistently, to the extent that they've now touched over 2,500 on November 15 one more time. So if you look at the season total as well, it's now 30,000. So actually it's comparable to the previous 2 years. So even the claims that were being made that there's been 30, 40, 50% reduction is actually not working out, certainly not as far as this season is concerned. Only the time period and the dates have changed, not really the figures and the total figures. Here's a reminder of what the Supreme Court had said while rapping both Delhi and Punjab governments over this issue and the politicking over this issue on its first hearing on November 7th. So it had said that Delhi cannot be made to go through this year after year. Farm fires are a major contributor as far as the pollution in Delhi NCR is concerned. It also went on to say that we don't seem to find any solution year after year. It's a helplessness on behalf of the citizens that the Supreme Court really voiced. That large number of kids in Delhi are facing health issues because of this. It's an emergency and a health emergency. And that Delhi used to blame Punjab earlier, but now due to political sink, they don't blame Punjab, they blame Haryana instead. So farm fires on the rise once again, is it not? Plain and simple, forget everything else, willful defiance of the Supreme Court orders. Let's go across to our guest joining us, RP Singh, BJP's national spokesperson with us. Devidita Sinha is an environmentalist. Abhinandita Mathur is Aam Aadmi Party spokesperson also with us. Abhinandita, let me begin with you. What explains this pattern that after a brief blip, the farm fires are rising and very scarily, alarmingly in Punjab again, to the extent that they touched 2,500 plus on November 15?
You know, as far as the farm fires are concerned, it is definitely a very critical thing that impacts the region and impacts the farmers of Punjab as well. What happens typically, as far as I understand this, is that, you know, in this duration, there is a sort of compulsion on the farmers, and obviously they may pick and choose different days for this to happen, and that is primarily the problem. That once the harvest is ready, I mean, once the parali is burning starts to happen, that is when rapidly it increases, and that happens for a period of between, like, say 10 days to a month, and that is the time when the region is impacted by the farm fires in Punjab and other states as well. So I think that is primarily the reason, and we are hopeful that by next year we would have been able to actually find a sustainable solution to it. Like I said last time, that we've managed to reduce it by 50%. It's still not good enough. We are seeing this ourselves.
Is it true though? Is the 50% mark true? Because last 2 years there were about farm fires this season, this period of the crop change. The farm fires about 28,000, 29,000. This season it's already 30,000. So what reduction have we seen?
The way actually these farm fires are being calculated, so to speak, is that the average of last year, look, there was a bigger region that was covered. The intensity of the farm fires was severe,
No, no.
more severe
Abhinandita,
than
we've had NASA images that show that all of Punjab is covered even this year, and the severity
absolutely.
of the farm fires, the numbers and the region covered is actually quite high. But the reason I asked you about the pattern is because what will be troubling a lot of people is that after the Supreme Court order, suddenly the farm fires came down. Suddenly we got visuals of, RP Singh, we can see the image that you're showing, which is of virtually all of Punjab covered in farm fires. Those red dots depict that, and those figures and those visuals, pictures are available to the citizens at large. We don't really need to continue to talk about it, but it's true that intensity is pretty high in Punjab. But the reason I asked you about the pattern is that when the Supreme Court gave an order, suddenly we saw the Punjab police in the fields. We got visuals for the first time this season that they're actually going out, stopping farmers from burning the parali, that there was greater compliance on the field. And Diwali comes and suddenly the farm fires rise again. So is this not a matter of political will? That you timed it after the Supreme Court's order, by you I mean the AAP government in Punjab, so that they are not upset. And when you thought the eyes will go away from the farm fire situation, Diwali has come, people will burn crackers, now it's okay to burn parali again. Is this not this case?
Not at all. That is not the case at all. In fact, from the beginning of this season, the Punjab police and the Punjab administration have been trying their best to control this. Now, the phenomena is such, the problem is such that it is so deep rooted in the culture of agriculture that the provision of alternatives is being provided to the farmers, but slowly. And that is the reality. Now, as far as the reduction in for the few days, part of the reason for that was also the festivities. I think that is perhaps what one can attribute. Having said that, there were Supreme Court bans in other states as well, and it is very unfortunate that none of the implementing agencies are being able to actually implement the ban, because the Supreme Court perhaps also understands or will understand that this is not something that is being able to be resolved overnight.
No, so I want to get two things very clear. You are saying the dip in the farm fires was not because of Punjab government's proactiveness after the Supreme Court order. It just happened to be great timing and farmers were no longer burning parali, and suddenly around Diwali they started burning parali again because it's according to their time convenience. I find that very revealing if you are accepting that yourself. And secondly, there has been an order for all states, but the numbers of farm fires in those states to begin with is not comparable to Punjab, so which is why we have to focus on Punjab. The numbers in Haryana and UP were like less than 100 even before the Supreme Court order. But let me go to RP Singh on the issue you raised, which is that this is a long-term problem and it will be resolved over a long period. RP Singh, there needs to be patience. This is a pattern that has emerged in Punjab due to many, many reasons, and no government can just come and wish it away or wave a magic wand.
Okay. Now let me just make you hear one clip of Mr. Kejriwal last year.
हमारी सरकार है, पंजाब में पराली जल रही है, हम किसानों को दोष नहीं देते, किसान जिम्मेदार नहीं है, हम जिम्मेदार हैं। आज पंजाब में अगर पराली जलेगी हम जिम्मेदार हैं। जिम्मेदारी को समझते हैं, अपनी जिम्मेदारी को मानते हैं। केवल एक चीज मांग रहे हैं जनता से, अभी 6 महीने हुए हैं, समस्या बहुत बड़ी है, कई सालों से चल रही है।
Your Central Minister, your Environment Minister is absent. Shall we play clips of your esteemed leaders or leaders who were earlier in the opposition?
Okay, Abhinandita ji, you had your opportunity. I'll give you again another opportunity, but let him speak. Let him speak, ma'am. Let him speak. Let him say, have his say, you respond to him.
To say. Where is the Environment Minister of India?
Okay, you made that point. Abhinandita ji, you made your point, but you mustn't speak over him, please. I request. Yes, RP Singh, please finish your point.
Well, शिवानी, हिंदी का गाना है, वादा तेरा वादा, वादे तेरे पे मारा गया ये किसान सीधा साधा. I mean, there's the problem. I mean, they promised farmers that we have some magical solution, and they spent some 23 crore rupees on publicity of that magical solution which they got from Pusa, and said that, oh, stubble will be taken care, you don't need to burn the stubble now. He also said that we are going to put plants and lot of factories there to convert the stubble into some other formula now. But where is all that? And again, you rightly said, farm fire has not come down. That the number rather has gone up. It was only tactically staggered in a fashion that they can save their skin. Fact is, on ground, it is the same. The reason is that they are not serious and sincere about the issues and problems. Had they been serious and sincere, things could have been tackled. Have they thought of giving alternative crop pattern to the farmers? No. Have they planned what can be the new MRP and how can farmers make better profit from the other crops? No. They are not working on that. They only do photo ops, they only do publicity, they only do knee-jerk reaction. Parali is one big reason which is happening in Punjab, and I showed you the pictures also. The complete of the Punjab burning. Haryana is just minuscule of what is happening in Punjab today, because Haryana government has taken it head on and is working on it farm by farm. Not that they in Sangrur, let me give you another figure. In Sangrur, the maximum number of the farm fire is happening from Sangrur. That was 509 day for yesterday. I mean, imagine this. So someone has to take things head on, build up a long-term strategy, and also follow it up. I mean, they don't do that. They only do publicity. They only do some sort of tamasha, and then they forget it. Even in Delhi also, they are not sincere about what is the way. Give me another 5 seconds. The way pollution is generated from Delhi. Delhi needs 14,000 buses today. We only have 7,000 of them. Out of which 700 have been provided by the central government. The electric vehicles. When will we get more buses? Where is last mile connectivity? 8 years we have been hearing last mile connectivity. Where is last mile connectivity? Where is mechanical sweeping? I give a challenge. Where is mechanical sweeping? Where is the mechanical sweeping goes? Where is the industrial policy for the city? Where is the industrial policy for the city? But they don't do anything. But just put publicity, odd even kar lo, gadi on off kar lo, on all that tamasha, and they spend huge money, huge publicity on that, and then back to square one.
Okay, let me just come in. I don't want both of you speaking over each other. 1 second. There is an issue. There is a multiple level issue. There is nobody is denying. But I want to go across to Debaditya also. You know, there seems to be a certain level of apathy. And I think the farm fire situation over the last 6-7 years have shown that actually, despite the fact that these politicians are breathing the same air, their children are breathing the same air, and I know that everybody believes that this is a problem, and no person in Delhi should, be made to suffer this, but there is, either because of vote bank considerations or because of just institutional apathy, no action which is taken on a war footing. Some knee-jerk reactions are there, promises are made कि हम 1 साल में कर देंगे, 2 साल में कर देंगे, and then nobody bothers. It's pure apathy.
Certainly, and I agree. Like, this episode of pollution is now a yearly phenomenon, and this crop burning issue has been there since last 7-8 years, at least what I remember. And whatever we see, I think the politicians have accepted this is a yearly phenomenon. The Supreme Court, like a principal, will come, says you did this, you did that, and they accept that कि ये खत्म हो जाएगा, उसके बाद में everything will be subsided, then life will go on. But what matters is that whether there is enough political will. Now you spoke about the children of the politicians. See, people who are upper middle class, or even working class in Delhi, some people can afford air like this air filters at home. But what about the masses? Can they afford air filters? And these people are the most affected. And in all this discussion, we are not thinking about the people. We are not thinking about the environment. We are only doing politics. And I think this is the most disappointing thing about it, because whole year you didn't do anything, and this is a yearly phenomenon. You very well know that next year again this problem will happen.
Yeah.
And you also know that after 2-3 months everyone will be fine with it, and people have accepted this thing. So this is what I see, because solutions exist. I think you need enough political will. You need
political will to do it. Abhinandan Mathur, I want to give you another opportunity. You have made promises in Punjab before, when you came to power or before you came to power in Punjab. Why should anyone believe that now you are sincere about it, when earlier you used to blame Punjab? Arvind Kejriwal has been on record to say, hum 1 saal mein kar denge. What is that the Punjab government did all year round? Of course, you can't solve this problem in 2 weeks. When it's already on your head, you have to solve it all year round.
Shivani, there are, I will speak very candidly, and I speak also as a citizen of this region, as somebody who's also affected and responsible for the pollution at hand. Look, as you also understand that the parali burning is a sort of a problem of agriculture right now. It is a deep rooted problem. If we could, it would have stopped overnight. But unfortunately, as is with many other things, whenever a policy comes into place, firstly, when the political will is there, there is a policy that comes into place. And then any policy, however good or bad it may be, takes a while for it to actually get, percolate in the system, actually reach its beneficiaries, actually get adopted by the stakeholders. That is one. There is absolutely no reason for us to not implement it or to not have the political will for it, because that is, there is no government, there is no political party which would want to work otherwise. As far as Delhi, for example, is concerned, we have been working year long. It's not good enough, but we've shown slight improvements, whether it is leading the electric vehicle policy,
What improvement?
whether it is actually
What have you done on
increasing the
electric
number
vehicles?
of
All 7
wetlands
electric
and
vehicles
so
have been
on.
provided to the central government.
Similarly,
Delhi
in
government has not bought
Punjab
a
as
single
well, and I'm
electric
saying
vehicle.
this very honestly, I'm saying it myself that
It's not
whatever
enough.
has happened is not enough.
Okay, but when you talk about the issue of
We are committed,
agriculture,
we are honest,
we've been trying to
and we are
discuss this. When you
committed to
talk
do
about the
more.
issue of agriculture, I agree with you that yes, this is a deep-rooted problem. But shouldn't the state government be at the forefront in Punjab of talking to the farm unions, farm groups that you have supported in the past? They should be listening to you.
Absolutely,
Why are you
absolutely.
not
And
pushing them for
then-
crop pattern change?
And that is where, for example, we have made 4,500 people who are like Kisan Mitra, friends of Kisans on the ground to. But despite all this, if there is a failure in the sense that, there is the options that are being made available to them are slow to trickle in, it's slow for a policy to be actually adopted by the
Okay,
stakeholders. It is
at least
not a
you are
new
candid
process.
enough to accept that whatever has been done so
Absolutely,
far
absolutely.
hasn't really worked on the ground. Yes, RP Singh, you want to
No,
respond to
some
that?
things have, and a lot more needs to be done. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, RP Singh.
Well, they keep telling lies again and again. They say that Delhi में pollution 25% कम हो गया. अब Delhi pollution has come down by 25%, which is all false and which is all fabrication. Fact is, Delhi all year long suffer from pollution except one month of rainy season, which is
तो
July.
आपने-
That is all
आप
year long.
LG
It is
साहब ने
200
क्या
plus.
किया pollution के बारे
आपको
में?
रोका क्या? 200 से
आपने-
ऊपर रहता है
तो
सारा
फिर-
साल.
तो फिर
50 से
central
ऊपर
government के
जहर है.
environment minister
50
इस
से ऊपर
region के
जहर है.
problem को
बच्चों
solve
के
करने
लिए
के लिए आगे
जहर
क्यों
है.
नहीं आते
बड़ों के
RBC?
लिए जहर
आप
है.
कैसी
50
बातें
के ऊपर
करते हैं?
जैसे पोल्यूशन जाता है ऊपर. और दिल्ली के अंदर अगर आपको ईस्टर्न वेस्टर्न कॉरिडोर दिया तो सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट ने दिया. दिल्ली के अंदर अगर प्रगति मैदान से नोएडा का अंडरपास दिया तो सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट ने दिया. वसंत
सर,
विहार से
दिल्ली
अगर
देश
अंडरपास
नहीं
दिया
है, कोई
गुड़गांव
पड़ोसी
तो
देश
सेंट्रल
नहीं है
गवर्नमेंट ने
दिल्ली.
दिया.
तो आप लोग दिल्ली के पीछे पड़े रहते हैं
धोला
किस तरह
कुआं
से?
का क्लॉगिंग क्लियर की तो सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट ने की. और दिल्ली के अंदर बसेस दे रही है तो सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट दे रही है. योर गवर्नमेंट ओनली डू पब्लिसिटी, फॉल्स पब्लिसिटी एंड नथिंग एल्स मोर देन
Okay.
दैट.
You know, time has come when Delhiites also begin to think about this, because this is ultimately about all of our future, and we have a very special report on that as well. The impact of this high levels of pollution on even unborn children. But I want to give Devidatta final 30 seconds. What would you like to see happen? Devidatta, 30 seconds.
So, I think the implementation is with the government. It is not the role of the Supreme Court or any other court to dictate it. So, and we have to be a little bit proactive. And, in last 6-7 years, we have been only reaction. Like you have seen only reaction on only optics in the language of the policymakers. They are doing only optics. We have to think beyond politics and we have to take real action on ground and we have to engage with the stakeholders for year round. Because we know this problem is coming every year.
Every year,
So
yes.
we can't be silent and wait for it to happen and then we will make a noise. So
Absolutely.
that's my-
And the impact it's having on our health, present generation, future generation, should really make both politicians, governments and citizens think. I do thank our guests for joining us. Here's a special report that even as residents of NCR are combating these high levels of pollutions, they're using masks and air purifiers. One horrific fact which is coming to light is this, that actually there's been an increase in the number of miscarriages that are being reported due to this pollution. My colleague Shireen Elizabeth is bringing you this report. Thanks a lot for watching.
Air pollution has been long linked with complications among pregnant women. But is pollution, which has now become an annual occurrence, Has this increased these complications and led into an increasing number of infertility and miscarriages among women? We spoke to a number of experts and doctors who have been suggesting that on ground it seems that the cases of miscarriages and infertility have only doubled due to pollution. What can be done in this situation? What are the advices from the experts? We have been speaking to some of them. Here is what they have to say.
There has been a significant increase in the number of miscarriages that we are seeing. Not only miscarriages, the number of babies who are born low birth weight. There is an alarming increase in that.
Last 10 days, if you will ask me, almost I have gotten 4-5 females who were pregnant and completely asymptomatic pregnancy, and they have started having spotting and bleeding without any reason. So in a way, obviously we know air pollution is a risk for miscarriage, so they are having symptoms.
It is a well-known fact that pregnant women and children are the most vulnerable category when it comes to pollution. Listen into some of the measures that can be taken to avoid these situations.
Pregnant women don't step out when it is early morning or late, but when the sun comes out, you need to step out, right? You do need the sun also, right? And what are the things that you can do different is obviously you try to eat healthy. That really helps. You try to eat nutrient rich food. That really helps to improve. See, we need to basically boost up our immunity. Do breathing exercises sitting at home. Do the stretches and other things that can be done. And I say, when you are not doing anything, try to look at ways where you can create a better environment for the next generation. We are all going to exist and go away, but what are we going to leave for our children is what we should be questioning ourselves. And I tell them, please work on that, and everybody come up with a single idea and come with it through the day, through the year, not just on one day.